Welcome. In the previous lecture, we were discussing about a starter for three-phase induction motor. First of all, here the dual starter, direct online starter. Direct online starter means there is no means or there is no arrangement to reduce the starting current. Only whatever the rated voltage we are applying to the motor. So in this case, this is a circuit diagram for dual starter. This is called as a power line, or it is a power circuit. This is called as a power circuit. It is a power circuit which deliver the power to the three-phase induction motor. And whereas this color, it is called as a control circuit. This control circuit is responsible to give some sort of protections over there. Now, this is the overload relay. It is a thermal overload relay. Suppose the current the rated current of the relay is 10 ampere. As soon as the current goes to the more than 10 ampere because of overloading or short circuit, this strip is going to bend and it trip the circuit. Okay, so this is a overload relay. This is the main contactor. Power contactors are there. So phase R, Y, B, three contactors are there. And this is the auxiliary contactor, means extra contactor. So as soon as this coil, holding coil, is going to energize from the 400 volt, it will attract the holder will attract in this direction, and this contactor will close the contact of RYB and motor get the supply. So this is the power line. Whereas the control line, say it is a start from, this is the start button, it is normally open. It is normally open means under normal condition, this switch is remain open. Whereas for the stop button, it is normally closed. This is the things which we have to remember. And it is very important. I am giving a very example, simple example, but there are many complication in the automation systems are there. So it is very necessary to understand the control diagram of any motor control centers are there. Okay, so here this is the start button. In start button, a parallel line is connected to the contactor. So this auxiliary contactor is connected. As soon as we switch on the supply or start the button, the current flow from this one and goes to the stop button, and it will complete the circuit through the holding coil up to the phase R, isn't it? So in this case, the coil is get energized. So it will, as soon as we release the hand over the stop button get open, whereas the power or the signal is given through the auxiliary contactor, to the control circuit. Now this control circuit, this is called as a key diagram of control circuit. So this is a key circuit or key diagram is there. It is start from B. There is a start button. In start button, there is a parallel button, is called as the auxiliary contactor. Then stop button in series. Okay, it is normally closed and this is normally open. Okay, and it is auxiliary it is a holding coil, and here it is connected between B and Y. So holding coil voltage should be a 400 or 415 volt. Suppose it is connected between phase and neutral, then the holding coil voltage is 230 volt. But 415 volt is better. Why it is better? Suppose one phase blowout, or it is not working one phase. So what happened? The circuit going to trip and it will protect the motor from single phasing, or it will protect the motor for disconnection of any one phase. So by this such type of 400 volt holding coil, these two phases like B phase and R phase get protected. Any phase out of service, motor does not start, it does not take more current, and it avoids the burning of motor. Okay, so this is the case. Now suppose I want motor to be started automatically with as soon as some remote signal is given. So we can connect a remote signal over this one. So here the remote signal is given as a again start button. So either by starting pressing this button, or by pressing this button, motor can be started, or it may be automatic switch. It is based on some say compressor is there, some overhead tank is there. As soon as the overhead tank level goes to the some below predetermined value, the motor or the pump should be started. So it can be started automatically by some sensors over there. Similarly, if you want to add a stop button, if you want to stop from the remote or from the some signal is there, what we will do, we will connect one stop button in series with the motor, in series with the control circuit. Again, this is again a stop button. So by this button may be used for the remote operation or may be used for the automation purposes. So by this different type of combinations, we can use control circuit to the three-phase induction motor starters are there. So there are different type of starters are there. It may be a rotor resistance starter where a resistance is get added. So second type is the rotor resistance starter. Rotor resistance starter is nothing but the slip ring induction motor, all as already we have taken. So instead of this one, only we will take the resistance starter. Resistance starter. But resistance starter is not used because continuously there is a power loss in the circuit. So simply in this case, three variable resistances, equal three variable resistances are inserted in series with the motor. So this is in series with the motor, and by which we can reduce some sort of voltage at the time of starting. Say suppose the voltage is 400 volt or rated voltage is say V, and if you are connecting the starter over there, so part of this one, say this is the X percentage of a rotor get voltage get is reduced to the induction motor. So X into V, let X is equal to say 0.5. So the rated voltage will be 50%. Rated voltage will be say 400. So it is 200 is going to apply to the motor at the time of starting. Once the motor pick up the speed and starting current reduces to the small value, this resistance is totally cut out from the circuit and motor get the rated voltage. So under such condition, the starting current is equal to the starting current become is equal to X into short circuit current, X into ISC. What is ISC? If suppose this is the delta connected induction motor, it is a delta connected or star connected induction motor, and we are applying the rated voltage. We are applying rated voltage V, and the current flowing per phase is ISC under standstill condition. Under standstill, when speed is equal to 0, and therefore we know that the three-phase induction motor is a generalized three-phase transformer whose secondary is short circuited by the end rings, or it is a squirrel cage motor or slip ring induction motor. So when it is acting as a generalized transformer and we are applying the rated voltage, definitely it will draw a more current. It's a heavy current, and that current is nothing but the short circuit current. So the starting current by the starter, resistance starter, is equal to X into IXC, where X is the percentage of resistance inserted or percentage of voltage reduced by the starters are there. Next is the third one is the auto transformer. Auto transformer starter. Auto transformer starter has advantages that whatever the losses is going to take place in the resistance, it is not going to occur in the auto transformer. So in case of auto transformer, this is three-phase auto transformer is connected in series with the motor, and this is one of the best method. It will give the proper starting torque. Starting torque, no doubt, it is smaller. We will see what is the starting torque of the induction motor with the help of auto transformer, but it will give the some efficient way to start the three-phase induction motor as compared to the rotor resistance start, as compared to the resistance starter. So here it is the induction motor, whereas it is R, Y, B, three phases are there, and here this is the auto transformer, simple three-phase auto star connected auto transformer. We will start the motor at reduced voltage. Once the motor pick up the speed, we will gradually cut out that we will gradually increase the voltage, and in the final case, this variable point comes here. This variable points comes here. Under such condition, we are applying the rated voltage to the three-phase induction motor. And under such condition, the starting current, again, it is starting current ISC or IST starting current is equal to, say, some factor K, we are considering K into ISC. Instead of X, because that same value is going to take value. So it is a K. K is the factor, or K is the percentage. K is the percentage which indicate that starting voltage of the three-phase induction motor. Now the third is the fourth case is the star delta starter. So most of the application we are using star delta starter. Now see, when we are applying the voltage to the delta connected motor, so here V line voltage is equal to V floor voltage. So therefore, short circuit current is equal to V line voltage divided by ZS, or the ZPH, per phase impedance of the induction motor. Now, if same motor is connected in delta star, same motor is connected in star, what happens? The voltage applied to the per phase voltage is get reduces by √3. So this is the voltage V as it is, and this is the impedance per phase PH. So the voltage across each phase, is equal to VPH. So here the short circuit current, or the starting current, or short circuit current is equal to VPH upon ZPH per phase. So under such condition, the starting current IST starting current is voltage is reduces by VPH is equal to 1 upon √3 into VL. So here it is short circuit current is equal to 1 upon √3 into ISC. So if the motor is connected in delta, so the current in the starting period is reduced by the 1 by √3. Voltage is also get reduces by 1 by √3. So this instead of this dual starter, either it is a rotor resistance starter, auto transformer starter, star delta starter, where we are using some means to reduce the starting voltage, and that reduces the starting current. So in this case, we are able to reduce the starting current, and hence, in addition to the reduction in the starting current and addition of some sort of protection, under voltage protection, over voltage protection, as well as short circuit protection can be provided to the three-phase induction motor. Okay. Now one thing is remaining for this one, under voltage protection. As soon as the voltage reduces, say 380 volt, if the voltage is 380, definitely this is get de-energized, and as soon as it de-energized, because of spring tension, it is connected with the spring. So because of spring tension, the plunger move to the off position, or plunger move to the opposite position, and motor get stopped. So if the voltage is 0, or by say the supply fail, the motor get disconnected, and once again you have to start the motor by manual or by some automation systems are there. So this is the something which is a different type of starters are there. Now we will do some sort of derivations and calculation for the different type of starter use in case of industry. Nowadays, soft starters also use. Now, in the soft starter, this star delta starters and auto transformer is get replaced by the thyristor family, where some reduced voltage is going to apply to the motor. It is all are the static one. Reduced voltage is going to apply, and once the motor pick up the speed and starting current becomes smaller, it will increase the rated voltage. So as soon as you start the motor, it will take a very heavy current, and after some times the motor gets settled to the its rated value. So during this period, this is the transition period. Starting current is very high, inrush current is very high. So during that period, we are our intention is to reduce the current by reducing some voltage. Okay, so it can be done by the thyristor family, that is called as a soft starters are there. Now, first we will take the direct switching just for understanding purpose, and from this direct switching we can drive the equation for a different type of starters are there. Direct switching starters or DL starter, simply direct online starter. We know that rotor input is equal to, it is a omega s into torque. Torque into omega or angular velocity is nothing but the power. It is in watt, so rotor input is in watt. So twice pi ns synchronous speed into t. So say this is all values are constant, so k into t. Okay. Similarly, rotor copper loss, rotor Cu loss, copper loss is equal to S into slip into rotor input. Rotor input. So it can be written as S into K into T, some constant into torque T. Whereas the rotor copper loss is equal to 3 I2 square R2, where R2 is the rotor current, I2 is the rotor current and R2 is the resistance. So under such condition, if the this value is constant, resistance is constant, so we can say that current as R2 is constant. Once you design the motor, it will remain constant, and current I2 is directly, or say I1 instead of this one, I1 is directly proportional to I2. It is just similar to the transformer. If the secondary winding current increases, it will draw more current from the primary side. So as the rotor current increases, it will draw more current from the stator side. So therefore, the torque is directly proportional to I1 square divided by slip. So it is called as a, where I1 is the stator current, I1 is the stator current, and S is the rotor slip. S is the slip of motor. So we can say that at start, S is equal to 1. S is equal to 1. So, and at some load condition, so we can say that starting torque is equal to some constant IST or I starting current square. Similarly, let SF is the full load slip, then torque at full load condition, it is K IST square, the starting current square divided by SF. So the ratio of starting torque to the full load torque, is equal to this IST, so K is constant, so it is get cancelled out. So starting current divided by full load current. So sorry, here it is the full load current. Here it is a full load current. Under full load condition, the current also full load. IF and divided by I full load current, or at any load condition, bracket square into SF. So this is our required equation, and it is a generalized equation for the torque. So now we will take the example, some let for the any type of induction motor, let starting current is equal to 7 times full load current. As we have taken a very high value of current, for example, 5 HP motor is there. With the 5 HP motor, the current is 7 ampere. At 7, the starting current is 7 times, so 79 ampere current is going to flow. So what would be the torque of 3-phase induction motor? So starting torque upon full load torque is equal to, starting current is 7 times full load current, so 7 into full load current divided by full load current, bracket square, let the slip is equal to 3%. Generally it is a 3% or 4%. Okay, we will take the 4%. So multiplied by 0.04. So it is equal to this full load current get cancelled, and it is 49 multiplied by 0.04. So it is equal to 49 multiplied by 0.04. So it is 1.96. It is 1.96, which is equal to starting torque upon full load torque. Or you can say that starting torque is 1.96 time full load torque. So this is the our conclusion is that the starting torque of three-phase induction motor is or hardly 2 times its full load torque, even when the starting current is 7 times. So suppose the motor is a 50 HP, the current is 75 ampere is there, and 75 multiplied by 7, it's a 2 lakh. So even at a large value of current, the starting torque of three-phase induction motor is very poor. This is the drawback of three-phase induction motor. Hence, nowadays, up to the days till date, it is not using in case of railway traction where high starting torque is needed. So say this is the torque and this is your slip. In this direction slip and in this direction speed. So already we have drawn many times. So just so this is the starting torque. This is the starting torque at S is equal to 0. So this is starting torque, whereas this is the operating torque. Say this is TF, full load torque. So the full load torque, it is starting torque is very small. Sorry, here the full load torque is very small. Full load torque is there, and starting torque is starting torque is very small. It is hardly 2 times the full load torque, isn't it? So this is the torque developed by dual starter, where we are not reducing any voltage in the stator circuit. So this is the dual starters. This is the equation for the dual starter. Now second case we will take resistance is starting. Resistance is starting. In case of resistance is starting, what happened? Starting current is equal to X into short circuit current. Means the short circuit current is nothing but the, here we can write as this equation. This equation can be written as starting torque upon full load torque, okay, is equal to ISC. Because we are not reducing here, we can say that ISC is equal to IST. Starting current is equal to the short circuit current, because we are not reducing the current by any means. So it is IF bracket square into SF. Okay, this can be written as. Now here the starting current is X into ISC, this one. So we can say that full load torque, sorry, starting torque upon full load torque is equal to IST, starting current, divided by full load current bracket square into SF. So by putting this value, so starting torque upon full load torque is equal to X ISC upon IF bracket square into SF, full load slip, which is equal to X square into ISC upon IF bracket square into SF. This is the starting torque upon full load torque. So what we can say that it is just similar to starting torque is equal divided by full load torque is equal to X square torque developed by dual starter. देखिए torque developed by starter क्या हो जाएगा? This is, or we can write as starting torque. Starting torque is equal to x square torque developed by DOL starts. Yes or not? It is very simple. See here, in this case, ISC upon IF bracket square SF, it is the torque due to dual starter. So just we can say that the torque of resistance starting is reduces by x square, or it is multiplied by x square. Let x is equal to 0.5. X is equal to 0.5. So what would be the starting torque? Starting torque is equal to 0.5 square multiplied by full load torque. So here it is 0.25 into TO. So we can say that the starting torque of motor by resistance starting is get reduces by 25%. So the starting torque of dual starter is nearly 2 times the full load torque, whereas the starting torque of motor by resistance starting is very small. It is divided by the or it is multiplied by the square of percentage. It is reduction is there. Suppose x is taken as 80%, then starting torque is equal to 0.8 square. So it is a 0.64 into T. So if you are using any type of starter other than dual starter, the starting torque get reduces. But no doubt the current also get reduces, which will avoid the burning of motor and say sag and voltage dips into the distribution network. Next, we will take second one, auto transformer starter. Auto transformer starter. In case of auto transformer starter, IST starting current is equal to K ISC, isn't it? So similarly, starting torque upon full load torque is equal to K square ISC or starting ISC upon IF bracket square into SF. So the same case is there. If the typing of the transformer is 50%, so starting torque is only 0.25%. If the typing is 80%, so the starting torque is 64% of the full load torque is there. And if the typing is 100%, there is a no means. But whenever we are using the auto transformer or any type of starters, our objective is to reduce the starting current. So by the auto transformer, this is again, it is reduces the starting torque is get reduces. Okay. Next is the star delta starter. Star delta. It is most popular method to start the three-phase induction motor. You will find in the even 10 HP motors or 10 HP pumps in the say field and farmers, and there again there are the star delta starters are there. So now here starting current is equal to 1 upon root 3 into ISC. The current is get reduces to this one. So starting torque upon full load torque is equal to 1 upon root 3 into ISC divided by full load current of the motor bracket square into SF. So under such condition, it is 1 by 3 into ISC upon IF bracket square into SF. So this is the starting torque upon full load torque, or we can say that the starting torque is reduces by 1/3, which is similar to the or as compared to the dual starters, as compared to or 1 by 3 into torque developed by dual starters. So now it can be concluded that it can be concluded as